Dark lands were sunrise, roll the beasts with laser eyes. Drums of war beat thunder loud, back Rhimos leads the crimson shroud. Steals the giant shroud. Steals the titans born with wrath, carving ruin in their path. With drills that scream and cannons wide, they crush the crown and split the sky. Engines roar in the night's descent, marching forth with malevolent intent. The Gylos creed dominate and enslave, and Black Rhimos is the vanguard wave. Monster machines, Black Rhimos, rolling on like warforged gods, with crimson steel and iron swords, ripping through the front line hopes, breaking lies with thunder's force. Black Rhimos, the Gylos hammer cold and cruel, tearing through the desert rules. Against the wolves, against the brave, they bring the storm, they dig the grave. Command wolves howl but can't outrun, but charge in dread beneath no sun. Gylos brace but still they fall beneath the might of Gylos' call. Dark green shadows, red-lit rage, wielding warlike beasts uncaged. The earth it quakes with armor tread, a million sparks where heroes play. Blood and sea, in fire's domain, Black Rhimos rise the winds of pain. A mechanized apocalypse, rhinoceros of apocalypse. Monster machines, monster machines. Black Rhimos, rolling on like warforged gods, with crimson steel and iron swords, ripping through the front line hopes, breaking lines with thunder's force. The Black Rhimos, the Gylos hammer cold and cruel, tearing through the desert rules. Against the wolves, against the brave, they bring the storm, they dig the grave. Black Rhimos, steel stampede in twilight's cry, banners black across the sky. With every clash and every flame, they burn the truth and carve their name. Black Rhimos, lords of dread on seas red plains, marching ever through the flames. No hope remains, no right to trust, just force remains and steel and dust. Black Rhimos, in the ashes they remain, iron beasts that know no pain. Hell it cries out from the smoke, but still responds with fatal strokes. Black Rhimos, when the battlefield is still, only their own death fulfilled. No mercy here, no flag of peace, just Gylos steel that will not cease. When the dust has settled and the stars have faded, the Black Rhimos still march on. Monster machines. The void of the stars, a lone world screams. Star, the broken, torn at the seams. Steel beasts clash in the fiery tide, from the central plains to the oceans wide. From mountains high to the desert stone, march the heroes carved in chrome. Shield lickers run with a howling might, command wolves strike in the dead of night. Photos roar on shattered ground, where liberty and steel are bound. That thunder stops, the earth will shake, for freedom's flame, make no mistake. Zoids, thanks to metal hearts of fire, Tyrannosaurus command. From shadows deep and wasteland blight, march the claws of the endless night. Hellcats stalk with silken death, sinkers soar with missile breath. The red horn charges cold and grim, death summer waits on chaos whim. Their warpath scorch the justice blind, a ruthless march for a twisted mind. One is thunder, one is doom. They clash beneath sea's blood-red moon. Giant horns clash, cannon fire rains. One will fall and break the chain. Mad thunder charges, defiant roar. Death's summer hungers for the war. Zoids, justice rolling like a storm. Zoids, in shattered cities, hope is born. Barricades blaze the swamps and fire. Rhinos scream from the clouds like a choir. Zoids, marching for the light of sight, with cannon fire and battle cry. Let the Rhinos tremble, let darkness flee. The helling flame burns wild and free. With every Rhinos terror and command wolf, we hold the line on sea's last gulf. The war drums thunder, the Zoids don't yield. The last stand roars on the battlefield. Zoids! Metallic giants rise from iron grounds. Blue guardians count the heart. Lights and fury